And now I'll request Mr. Vijay Madan to come and share some key takeaways from the workshop.
Thank you very much, everybody. It was very excellent to have 5 days working together, 4 days of technical plenary, and followed by Industry Day. Because we are talking about Industry Day, I'll focus on today what we achieved and what happened and all that. As far as the industry is concerned, we had sessions which included technical session on about 1M2M and working groups of 1M2M and what is the plan, what they have done, and what they propose to do in next release and beyond that also and all that. And we had 5 demonstrations outside in this exhibition area and all that, and it had very good impact and people could understand what we have started adopting. We had session on IoT M2M standardization in India by our respected Shil Kumar, and then we had 1M2M India activities where everybody mentioned what they are doing in India on this area. In the technical session, next session, we had trust security on IOM, followed by common alerting protocol, which is discussed after that presentation. There was a local discussion how to promote it and how to integrate with public warning systems and other things and all that. That's a good initiative. Something has started in that direction. Standards initiative in developing IoT 1M2M and IoT M2M. And now I must tell you that there is a collaboration program between Department of Telecom, by Bureau of Indian Standards, TSDSI, and other standard bodies also, how to collaborate in standards, what are the gaps in standards, and how to strengthen these standards together in all aspects to make it end-to-end. See, what is happening in standards is that there are areas where we overlap or we fill the gaps. Something additional we are doing in BIS, something we are doing in TEC as a certifying institution. So there are different aspects of this. In TSDSI, we are developing standards, while 2 other organizations are standard setting organizations and all that. So how to collaborate, how to make standards more effective and all those things, that was point of discussion. And the summary was given today also by them. Then we had a testing and certification session where we heard so many stakeholders today. We had panel discussion on university engagement, where a lot of things are happening, because ultimately the awareness and the initiation of that awareness will happen through researchers and universities and all that, and they will become future people who will add to standards, and because innovation and standards are very interconnected. Now, as far as overall outcome of this industry day was concerned, that we all consider that standards had 3 phases: pre-standardization, standardization, and post-standardization when it comes to implementation. So pre-standardization, a lot of study reports and other things are happening and taking place. In the area of standardization, we are working together towards standardization. We are moving towards standardization. But what is very important is, when especially in IoT M2M domain, we are having some sort of different use cases across the globe and certain specific requirements of the country also. So when we try to map the existing standards along to the requirements and all that, we come to know that these standards can meet all the requirements, or certain gap analysis to be done. And that gives us a area where not only we are mapping the standards, but we are adding to new features in the standards or new standards, and this becomes a comprehensive standards sort of group, or standardized standards, this thing and all that. Now, in the post-standardization, standards have not much value unless they are tested, they are certified, and then they result into pilots, and pilots result into large scale hyperscaling and large scale introduction in the commercial networks and all that, commercial applications, commercial use cases and all that. So now it is not only the ICT and telecom people connected with standards on this domain, but we are inducting in more and more users and verticals to this ecosystem so that it becomes a cohesive, useful, and used type of system and all that. We are holding a parallel conference today on standards-driven research and all that. So people in academic earlier were used to creating a lot of publishing papers and other things and all that. Now they are connecting with the industry, which is not only limited to papers, but also setting patents and making standard essential patents and learning how to contribute to national patents, national standards, international patents, international standards and all. That's a very good exercise which one is doing and all that. Now also, there's a plan post-standardization, how to have pilots together, how to have involve industry, how to sow seeds of possible commercialization of those pilots in future and all that. So there's a talk of joint test beds, which is including government, including industry, including academia, including startups and all that, bringing all the ecosystem players together together. So today's workshop and standardization, based on standardization, pre-standardization, post-standardization, all aspects were covered. And we had ecosystem players from industry, from R&D institutions, academia, government, and future researchers, etc., together to how to take this standardization together and all that. I would like to thank all the speakers today and all the participants today who participated in this whole exercise, and demonstrators and exhibitors and all those things. The idea was to bring them together, to bring the ecosystem together and take it forward to the next step, next round, next stage and all that. So I think the purpose was achieved today. And there were comments when I was in the lunch break or tea break and all that, that it was not just a listening type of workshop today, but there was more of interaction rather than presentations and all that. That makes it successful, perhaps, and all that. I would like to thank team of Indo-EU partnership project, along with standardization part of it and all that. They are working on this for last 5 years. And today's session and last 4 days of technical plenary was hosted by Indo-EU project. Not only that, we will have a session after that for 2 hours on what we achieved in Indo-EU project and all that. But I must thank everybody, thank Indo-EU, thank speakers, thank participants, remote participants. Today, we had over 100 participants, some of them here, some of them remote, and it was an interactive partnership and all that. So I would like to now thank everybody, the host and the authorities and all the teams behind the scene, those who have worked together to bring this TP and the industry day to a successful close. I'll request Benoit to say a few words on this. Thank you very much.